the job report is in trouble. In the first place, we're gonna say because the job report, I don't know who's working the job report because it's kind of fun because it said that in the month of May and June, the job report was overreported, overtuned by over 250k jobs. Like over 250k jobs or invisible jobs, like in simple terms. I feel like that's the language. So someone can explain it to me more to understand that, but that's how it feels like. And almost by over 250k jobs were like kind of invisible. Let's break it down. In May, it was reported over 144 jobs were added on the US economy, but in actual says it was only 19k, not even 20k jobs. It was only 19k jobs. In simple terms, a difference of 144 to 19k. I don't know who works in the labor report or who does, but this feels like real criminal, like truly like a criminal. We may say the US economy is better at showing its performance, but this kind of performance is kind of funny, like really, really funny. Like you look at something and be like, okay, how can you come from 144 to 19k real jobs that are attained? I don't know how that really works and how you will bring up that number as a report, because I feel like it's better to report the 19k than reporting the fake 144. You get it? This kind of pretty insane and kind of funny to convince someone that the reports that are coming out are kind of fun. And making matters worse, June they reported 147k, and in actual sense there was only 14k jobs attributed to be real jobs, like that were attained in the US economy. That's making matters to be kind of also fun. I don't understand 100k. If someone can explain to me how we come from 100k to the 14k job, that's where I feel like I have to ask myself, is this like, how does this really work? I mean, I'm asking the economist because I'm not an economist. I'm just asking like as someone who just reduce what's being seen to understand to get my point. Like, let's try to understand how do we come from 147k again to 14k? Like, are you adding more zeros for just for the vibe? Like, it's kind of because this is not like music we are putting vibe, like, you know, to have fun. This real data to to investors, to anyone who's trying to invest in the US or to start up something. When that is played around the rover, it's kind of funny. And to make things, if you feel like if you think the bad news is ending there, let's come to June or July. Sorry, in simple terms, July makes things bizarre. If you have been feeling the 100k, today we have some actual numbers that are not real actual numbers. In simple terms, look at the job report today reported around 73,000 jobs. Imagine 73,000 jobs. That number looks real, but still has to be revised. And when it's revised, especially let us say it could be revision to a negative. I mean, imagine if you have been having 100k jobs that are going down to 20k, 14k. How about 73 jobs when they haven't yet revised to be sure all the actual jobs? What do you think would the number look like? To understand why is the US really losing? Why how can the job report? Because a day before, Paul just came up and said that the economy is robust, bombastic, robust. That's the kind of language sometimes he uses. The economy is robust, but it's kind of funny, like, to understand it's important. But this list, US economy having a recession indicators. That's the vibe it brings in. If we are talking of vibes of because I'm gonna give you numbers of the look. Let's look at the unemployment rate. Unemployment rate before unemployment rate went up by almost 0.1%. And trust me, behind these numbers, they're actual numbers. It went up from 4.1 to 4.2%. And so it becomes kind of intriguing. Like, find yourself in a situation where you feel like, yeah, things that's trying to indicate something, some red flags that someone should be knowing something that's it's about to go kaboom. When you see the unemployment rate going from 4.1% to 4.2%, just know But this wind has been seen before. It has been like taking place before, like anybody from seeing. Like, let's look at the wage report. The wage report of July. The wage growth. Now, if you look at the wage growth, this has been also kind of declining. Like, seriously declining. Working hours are declining. Employment, like companies that are employing American citizens are also well low. A company that are still holding workers are also in a situation where they're not sure, should we uh, uh, carry a cutoff, or should we to decrease their numbers down, or keep them, laying them more, or should we hold for longer? Maybe things could turn left, turn right. But just look at that. To understand what's taking place, you must look at the CPI numbers. When did you last see the CPI above 3%? When I speak of CPI, I mean the Consumer Price Index. The Consumer Price Index indicates the how US citizen, or as a nation, how people spend their money. Are they spending or are they saving? But if you look at the CPI, when it was last saw on 3% at least, that was almost April of 2024. When it was almost 3.3 or 3.5, that's when it was seen. Other than, ever since then, it has been playing around 2.8, 2.1. Today's I think it's around 2.7. It has never seen before. It has never been seen before above 3% in simple terms. This indicates whenever you see consumers kind of scared of spending, just know it's either two factors. There's loss of jobs, formation of employees, keeping them or cutting off employees. There's uncertainties in the economy in simple terms. If you think this is small, this is really, really big as it can get. In simple terms, you should understand that the US economy is in a situation where there's a lot to unveil, but the unveilers are doing it way slower to avoid panic. If you're thinking this is a bit small, I'm going to show you some other numbers but just in a minute. If you look at the jobs attained, mostly jobs attained, let's say in this month, because they said jobs attained around 73, considering the bottom line, right? The jobs attained are around 73 jobs in July. But the jobs attained mostly, I want you to understand something. The jobs attained are in private education systems and health care services. Okay, those are service providers in simple terms. They are not productive providers, but those are service providers. And an economy to run well, we must look at the manufacturing. Manufacturing alone lost around 11K, like 11K employees, meaning there was a cutoff of almost 11K jobs. What does that mean? Like, the US economy is not the best state that anyone could feel like it's in the best state. Such numbers will never scare you off until the last minute you come to understand. If we look at how things have been implemented, just look at the US dollar. The DSY, it has been falling off. They have been dumping off dollars. They have been, and forget the currency. We're speaking of the job report. Just look at is to understand what's causing this. We must understand the uncertainties that have been taking place in the US. First, we must understand Dodge. Yes, the Dodge has been trying to cut the government down to have a small government so that they can decrease their spending. However, that was also left in uncertainty because we don't know if Elon still gonna be running Dodge, or even Dodge is still active the way it should be. Secondly, we should also be looking at what we'll be looking at the tariffs. The tariffs, the uncertain tariffs that we don't know where they're heading to in actual sense too. Unclear clarity behind where the US economy could be heading to. This has made the stock market to be unaware where the economy could be likely to be heading to. And trust me, like it or not, investors don't like uncertainties. They don't like things of surprises, especially in there something and anything to be playing in your business. You don't want to be getting involved into it. So to understand what's taking place, we should understand that things that have been have played a big role in this. We should also consider AI, automation. The automation that has been added in the job market today. Today, people have lost jobs because of AI. Today, people are creating websites via AI, just waiting within a second. People are losing jobs just per second, in simple terms. And the funny part, people who are attaining jobs, that's the lowest number. What does this lead us to? I can't tell. Simple terms, I cannot tell. But the numbers are kind of scary. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.